What is going on? I'm Zedmot. We are on the dev build, millions of diamonds, all the resources, and season 51 has started. Yes, this is a sneak peek for season 51, so we are going to jump right on in. And those of you who are super duper eagle-eyed, notice at the bottom we're only getting 34 keys. That is a little bit different than usual, and it's for a very specific reason. This is the 2-engine room deck, and this is going to be the deck that you're going to be at for a little bit longer than what you're used to. And the reason for that is everyone is starting at rank 1. Rank 1 for all the peoples. None of those extra chests, so you're going to have to plan extra this season. If you're not a planner, you're going to have a very, very bad time. Now, speaking of time, please let me know in the comments what you think about when this sneak peek was released. I think it's a terrible time. It's 4 hours later than usual, but I'll leave that up to all of you. Now, 34 keys is not what we're used to getting, partially because we're used to getting those extra chests, and partially because it's usually based on how much is in that chest tier that you're in. So 34 was intentionally placed. You'll notice that flares are 16, GBE is 16, troop damage is 18, troop health is 18. So you have enough keys to unlock 2 things, or I suppose you could get, and also you could also go flares and mortars if you wanted to, or you could just do GBE and flares and have 2 keys left over. I doubt anyone's going to go that road, but one other thing to notice that in this tech tree is that things are vertical. It's a weird linear kind of system where we've got troop health and troop damage above one another, and we've got building health and building damage above one another, and that continues for the whole season, as you can see down the road here. And it works out fairly well in the fact that we end up with 150% troop damage and troop health and only 100% building health and building damage. Also only 100% GBE. So this should be a good season for those offensive troops like rocket Choppas, for example, or laser rangers or heavy Choppas. And seekers are on this out of the way node, which should slow them down a little bit. Also, they're after shock launchers, and I have no idea where shock mines are, but I don't even know. There we go. Shock mines are after seekers. So yes, you'll have shock launchers to slow down seekers, but you won't have shock mines. And you'll notice that also that engine room lock is back in place. Last season, everyone could get all the way to the end of the season. This season, not the case. Admiral's key is available for purchase in the shop. I wish they would get rid of it or do a special on it, but that's a grumble for another day. So what we're going to do here is this is the most important season for this first little bit. If you max out your riflemen, you're not going to be able to max out your landing crafts, and you're only going to be able to max out like one thing here. So we're going to ignore the gunboat. Do not spend anything on your gunboat at all. Next up, we're going to get our riflemen up. Now, this is where you need to do a little bit of thinking. If you get your riflemen to max, you can only get 18 of them in the landing craft. So maybe if you really, really want to get down to the nitty gritty, you could do the math to figure out exactly where the special point is where you get the maximum amount of damage per landing craft. I'm not sure if it's tick 5 riflemen with tick 3 landing crafts or tick 4 and tick 4. If you really want to get into it, please do let me know in the comments down below. But now the next question is, do you go GBE and troop health, or do you go flares and troop damage? For me, I'm thinking flamethrowers are going to be more useful against just riflemen. And speaking of just riflemen, for those of you who are worried that we're only going to have one troop, don't worry. Back in the shop where you're going to throw code ZMod in, yes, because you love supporting the creators and whatnot. There's also right about here, yes, there is instant training for 99 cents right now. That is not going to be the deal. The deal is 1 day of instant training for 100 diamonds. All of you are in a good task force. You're all getting 29 diamonds every single day. That shouldn't be a problem. And there's going to be 3 of them available for the span of a week. So maybe you want to get instant training on day 1, 2, and 3. Maybe that sounds like a terrible idea. So you're going to get it on 1, 3, and 6. Whatever it might be, free instant training. Essentially free. Yes, it's 100 diamonds, but you've all got diamonds. So if you're looking at this tech tree going, oh crap, only riflemen, I'm going to be able to do 3 attacks, then I'm going to be out. Use your instant training on day 1. Get into some more troops, whether it be warriors or maybe you're going to go a little bit farther somehow and get into heavies. But just know this is going to be a warrior season once we get to about there. I have to assume there is no smoke, but you're going to have troop health likely because you're going to be getting those flamethrowers, which are going to slow down your warriors and your riflemen. I really don't think many people are going to go through sniper towers. I think the majority of people are going to go up here. And maybe, just maybe, you decided that you weren't going to max your or get your riflemen to tick 4. You were going to save some for riflemen for troop health, but I kind of doubt it. Obviously, we'll get some more keys once you start unlocking those chests. But what I'm going to do now is, and again, this kind of thing where you're going to have your engine rooms out wide, people are just going to drop their troops like 4 boats here and 4 boats here. So maybe don't do that. We're probably going to end up with some form of like engine room back in here, and not many people will have. Anyways, I'm not going to get into the defensive side. We're going to do a quick little sneaky trick. Getting up to 23 million upgrade tokens, 2,000 of the keys, and also you'll notice that my tech level has gone up to 3,000. That is just so that we can fly through this, show you all of the goods, and we're going to unlock those flamethrowers, unlock that next engine room, and out comes the tutorial guy and our 3 engine room deck. The decks look pretty darn good. Just a reminder, I do have a deck builder. That is where a lot of this goodness is coming from. So do consider submitting some decks, especially if you think these things are awful or not good or you could do better. Do get into that deck builder. Do send them to me. And then warriors, again, warriors rushing things. Maybe you're going to go part warriors, part riflemen. And now the choices start to come. We're probably going to go through boom cannons, I think, because boom mines and Kavon is the same price as brick. Kind of nice. Kavon likely going to be better for the end game. Brick going to be better for this game. You know how it works. Brick, battle orders for the start, and then maybe it turns into Iron Will as people go back and get extra troop health. Critter's going to be able to take an engine room, possibly, and then we're just going to go through the green mines, get into smoke. That's going to make your warriors way better. And need the Admiral's key, so let's just add that. And with the help of the dev build, that's no problem at all. Every single, look at that, 4 engine rooms, nice spread out, lots of deck open. We've got both ramps open, looking pretty clean. Let's keep going through this though, just so that you can see all of the goodness. Medics are never a thing. Every single season, especially this season, where there's going to be building health and building damage are going to be backwards. Skip the medics. You don't need those. Moving on forwards, probably going to be Simo, I would guess, simply because of the fact that it's just a swarm of riflemen and or those, what are those guys called? Warriors coming. Barrage going to be a big deal. This is going to be a push point simply because not many people are going to have building health. You're going to have possibly critters and barrage, which is going to be able to be a big push point. Going to get people likely into shock launchers. I feel like shock launchers will be better if you're worried about those seekers coming, but rocket launchers will be better if you're worried about rocket choppas coming. So really depends on what you think's going to be more viable. Rocket choppas are going to be a big deal for people. You're going to have troop damage, and you're going to have, like, anytime you can have rocket choppas with more troop damage than there is building health or building damage, it's going to be a good time. So again, I really like the fact that these are both priced the same amount. We're going to go through one of those rocket launchers just because why the heck not? And you'll notice that I didn't, oh, shucks. Anyways, going on forwards, getting through this tech tree, there is our 5th engine room. And this is again where rocket choppas will be somewhat helpful. They'll be able to jump over those gaps going engine room to engine room in the shortest possible path. Sorry, lots of P's there. Keeping on moving though. I love that tanks are off in no man's land. I don't foresee anyone using tanks this season, especially with the ratio of higher troop damage and health to building damage and health. Let's keep going though. This is going to be somewhat critical. Notice that you will either have boom cannons or boom mines from way back here, so that's good. You're not going to get to that node where you can't unlock it because you don't have mortars unlocked or something like that. We, of course, are going to go to boom cannons, which is going to help us against those gosh darn rocket choppas. But maybe you want to go that top path if you don't like rocket choppas, which is going to get you into a sky shield. Super helpful because people are going to be using that barrage like we talked about. Keeping on going though, trying to get this as short as possible. Critter launchers are back in the tree, which is going to be a huge problem because look how ridiculously cheap it is to max these things. I have passed that on to the team. Let me know in the comments if you agree with that. So cheap to get 4 of them. It is ridiculous. They need to be as expensive as rocket launchers or shock launchers to max. Let's keep going though. I like the fact that Seekers are separate from Bullet. Those Seeker players are likely going to go into that next engine room, then come backwards for Bullet. And there, right there, my friends, is your 6 engine room base. Spread these things out as far as you possibly can. And then maybe, just maybe, let's throw all those buildings down that we have. There's not a lot of buildings here at the moment. That is because we haven't maxed them all though. So if we went back and maxed them, obviously we'd have more. I'll do that in a second. Keeping this train on chugging down the lines. So there's going to be a lot of backfilling this season. As you can see, the fact that all of this stuff is spread out north and south, come on, fingers, it means that you're going to have to go get one and then backfill for the other. So lots and lots of backfilling because of the lack of building health, which of course people are going to get right there. We're going to go get artillery, and those laser rangers are going to be awfully quick, but only if you've got Kavan, and if you've got Kavan, you want to have rifles, which we already have. So we're going to keep moving on north to south, getting that next engine room. That is going to complete the decking. That is going to be the big deck that everybody wants. Look at those ramps though. There's a lot of ramps there. Also, you'll notice we've got a message in a bottle sitting on our ramp. Kind of a funny little detail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 engine rooms. I love the fact they didn't fill the deck in. That is great. Leaving those gaps, making troop pathing interesting. Scorchers, heavy choppas towards the end. And notice with heavy choppas, your heavies are way off to the side. So again, more backfilling. So we're going to be having all of these times where we're trying to get chests just to get new stuff, and then we're going to have to go back and get more stuff. So Bombardiers at the end of the season. I love this. I love a season that doesn't rely on Bombardiers, because Bombardiers, I just don't find them terribly fun or interesting. They are great. They do good damage. They've got good range, but they're just not interesting or exciting. Speaking of interesting or exciting, look at this. There is no multi-node with stupid mines after the 7 engine room level. Yes, they've moved it before the 6, before 7, or maybe after 7, depending on which way you go. But that right there, my friends, is just absolutely stacked. Look at all of that goodness towards the end. A little bit less stuff there than normal, but nonetheless, lots and lots of things going on in this tech tree. Also, quick note, with rocket choppas, whatever the heck they are, where the heck even are my rocket choppas at? Where are you at, guys? Right about there. You don't really care about the fact that Zookas are on that dead end, because your Zookas that drop don't really matter all that much anyways. That's going to be it for the sneak peek. So to recount, no Admiral's key is back in, so if you're at HQ 12, you can't get to the end, unfortunately. That was just a teaser for last season, unless you go buy the Admiral's key in the shop, of course, which no one does. I'd love to see the numbers on that. Also, this north to south deal for the keys and for the building health, building damage, troop health, troop damage, but most importantly, pay the most possible attention at this level. This screen right here is going to make or break your season, and make darn sure you upgrade those riflemen, because if you decide to go full defensive and get those machine guns and cannons maxed, you're going to have no tokens for riflemen, and you're going to get no engine rooms, and all of the instant training in the world is not going to save you. I have asked Supercell to give out 3 chests worth of keys and tokens on the second day for those people who rush in and do silly things. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I kind of doubt it, but if people get stuck enough, maybe they will. Now, what I'm going to do is, actually, that's not what I meant to do. We're going to show you the contents of those chests, because that is very, very important. 15 keys at wood, into 16 at iron, moving forwards, actually that's stone, into 18 at iron, 20 at gold, into 25 at diamond. You'll also notice that this is going to be a shorter season than previously advertised, so do check that out. Now again, because this is only going to be a 3-week season, there's going to be a 2-week gap after this season, and there's going to be 2 mega crabs afterwards, I believe. There's going to be an extra mega crab. I don't really know the details, so do consider subscribing so you can get those things. 3-week season, 2 weeks afterwards. Weird. That gets my spidey senses going. At this point, what I'm going to do is load every single possible building. Neat little detail here. Total cost for all of the nodes is 2050, and the total cost in tokens was that other number that I couldn't read in time. Now, we built every single possible defense this season. Actually, that's not even accurate because I did not max my rocket launchers, just noticed. But in the process, there is a choice node right here that's going to give you that rocket launcher, critter launcher, shock launcher option. But there is not a ton of defenses here compared to last season. Also notice there's only 3 prototypes on the deck. So offensive geared season, very few defenses compared to last season's, and it's looking offensive biased, which is a good thing. Should get many people pushing and having fun. I can't comment on the actual push points or troops used because it's me doing it in a vacuum compared to actually playing the game and talking to other people, and things change every season. I say it's going to be X, it ends up being Y. Really hard to predict, but hopefully this helped you plan things a little bit, get you thinking about that tech tree, get you thinking about that first day's upgrades, because I can't stress that enough. This is so vital. Max your machine guns, max your cannons, and then you've got nothing for troops and you're just done for the season. So I'm Zedmod. Hopefully this sneak peek has helped you a teeny tiny bit. If it did, click that like button. If it think it sucks, do click that thumbs down, but please let me know how it can improve, because I'm always trying to make these better, trying to get all that info out to you to help you have the best season possible. Anyways, that's going to be it. Like I said, like, share, subscribe. More importantly, comment, click the bell, all that YouTubey stuff. Thanks for coming in. Using Zedmod in every Supercell game. I'm Zedmod. Thanks for coming in. Peace.